Hey guys, this is Malinki. Welcome back to my channel, Voice of Malinki. And now I am here with rapid fire question 21. And today's question is, which polymerase doesn't require a primer? And this is the rapid fire question series for PhD entrance exams and interviews. And if you are new in my channel, please subscribe my channel. And if you like my video, please do like, comment and share my video. So we will see the question, and this question is DBT-based GRF question in 2012. Which of the following enzymes doesn't require a primer? Which enzyme doesn't require a primer? First is RNA Dependent Dna Polymerase. So what is RNA Dependent Dna Polymerase? That means this enzyme is dependent on RNA, right? It is dependent on RNA. So from RNA, this is the RNA, and this enzyme is dependent on RNA and it will produce DNA because this is RNA dependent DNA polymerase. So it will produce DNA and it is dependent on RNA. So what is that enzyme? That is nothing but reverse transcriptase, right? Okay, so reverse transcriptase always requires a primer to generate the DNA strand. So this is not the answer. Next is B, DNA Dependent DNA Polymerase. What's that? That means it is dependent on DNA because this is DNA dependent, and this enzyme will produce DNA, right? Because this is DNA dependent DNA polymerase. So this enzyme is involved in the replication process, because a DNA is getting produced from a template DNA. So it is DNA replication. So we know that DNA replication requires primer because first we know what happens in replication. First helicase comes, right? Helicase comes to unwind the DNA strand, to unwind the double strands, right? So here like this will happen when helicase comes, right? Okay. Now primase will come. That we know that primase will come like that. So this is the primase. This is also the primase. And the primase will generate the primer, right? So here primer will be generated and that primer will extend the DNA. So this process also requires primer. So this is also not the answer. C is DNA Dependent RNA Polymerase. So here DNA dependent, that means the enzyme is dependent on DNA, right? And it will produce RNA. So this is DNA, the enzyme requires DNA and it will generate RNA. That means this process is nothing but the transcription process, and we know that transcription does not require any primer. So C will be the answer. So last option we will see what is Taq DNA polymerase. So Taq DNA polymerase is used in the PCR reaction, right? In the PCR reaction where Taq DNA polymerase yields lots and lots of DNA from the template DNA. So if this is the template DNA, here is the Taq pol, and after the PCR reaction it will generate lots and lots of DNA. So PCR always requires primers. So this is wrong answer. So what is the right answer? Right answer is the C, that is DNA Dependent RNA Polymerase. Let's see the answer. Yeah, that is answer is C here.